This is a really quick review of the Keychron K2. I bought this the other day and I'm going to explain why I really like it as a keyboard, why I bought one, and why I'm returning it. So the first question is, why would you need an external keyboard if you have a perfectly functioning one on your Mac? Well, as you will have experienced, the trackpad is the root of all evil. What I mean by that is that it is the source, it's the lead domino in getting distracted and scrolling. So the more that you can keep your hands on the keyboard, the more that you can get involved in keyboard shortcuts, the more productive you are, in theory. And so I thought, if I can get myself a plush, luxurious keyboard to use like this, that has really nice typing experience. Oh, can you hear that? Lovely. So it's a very pleasant experience to use as a keyboard, and I thought that'll encourage me to keep my hands on it, use the keyboard shortcuts, and make it a more enjoyable experience. The other main reason is that I'm unlucky enough to have a touch bar on my Mac, which is the biggest pain in the arse. If you haven't used one, imagine you've got a row of keys on the top of your keyboard that run away from you as you try and touch them, as if you're some kind of pest. So, having sold myself onto an external keyboard as the solution to all of my productivity problems, I had a look on YouTube and on the websites. And unfortunately, all you get, if you search Keychron on YouTube, and that's the reason why I'm recording this video, you will get a bunch of keyboard perverts that are comparing the K2 compared to the K6, and how does it compare with the number of bezels on the back? How many micronewtons of force does it require to press each key? And what's a graphical outline of the force rebound curve when you press each one? You're just like, just tell me, is it a nice keyboard or not? And actually, looking at the website, you're overwhelmed by 10, 20 different versions, which are basically the same. And then there's upgrades as well. Do you want the brown or the blue attachment? And do you want the aluminium bezel or the... Basically, I was overwhelmed with choice. And so, marketing tip for Keychron, have a lead model that's just for basic people like me. I should say as well that the pervert phenomenon applies to quite a lot of things, like fitness, health, tech, most hobbies. There will be a subset of people who own 10 keyboards and they have a favorite keyboard. So just remember, there are fans and collectors in most areas, and people love this stuff and they get really into the little details. But if you're not, and you're just wanting to solve a specific problem, keep that in mind as your big picture question. What problem am I trying to solve? And hopefully that should help you make sense of all of the noise. Anyway, I'm going to stop there because I'm ranting about the keyboard perverts. But what's my experience of this been like? It's a nice keyboard. It feels nice to type on. I probably wouldn't notice much difference between this and the other models, if I'm honest. It's the kind of thing that the more you pay attention to, the more you'll find some source of dissatisfaction in the one that you have. But did it improve my productivity? And that's the main thing. Connectivity, great. Connects seamlessly onto your Bluetooth. You can swap the keys around for Mac or Windows. It's backlit and the backlighting looks quite nice. It's quite weighty, feels like an expensive bit of kit, feels like it's a quality build. So with all that in mind, why am I returning it? Simply, I'm making more errors when I'm trying to type. I'm finding that I actually have to use the trackpad a lot more than I thought, even using lots of the extensions that I cover in my Mac productivity video here, where you can basically click on anywhere on the screen using your keyboard, but even in spite of that, you still do find that you have to kind of switch back and forth. And if you have your Mac over there, it just takes up more time in total. If you're a writer of some sort and you spend extended time writing on the keyboard without your fingers leaving it, then maybe it's something to get because it makes it into a more pleasurable experience. It feels more special. I am aware that if you get a new keyboard, the keys are going to be slightly smaller than the one you're used to, or they'll just be in a slightly different position, so you're going to make more errors. And yes, it's a learning curve to get better at that, but I'm not willing to invest the time and effort to do that because I'm feeling the extra friction of switching between trackpad and keyboard. The other option is, if you really want to use an external keyboard, you could get an external mouse and then Bob is your uncle. But for me, I think I'm just going to go back to the regular Mac. It's pretty hard to improve on Apple's native design. Finally, in terms of typing speed, it's about the same, and you can test your typing speed with any number of websites online, but I'm making more errors with the Keychron, and I'm sure I would improve the accuracy over time with practice, but for now, I'm sticking with the MacBook. So there's my non-keyboard pervert review of a Keychron K2. I can't fault the product, but it just doesn't work for me, so I'm returning it. As always, I'm constantly testing software and hardware productivity hacks to see how you can maximize your efficiency and become as profitable as you can with a MacBook. So have a look at the videos here to find out more.